So on Wednesdays, we call it Zen's Days, and we have been for 2.5 years studying this book called Standing at the Edge by Roshi Joan Halifax, and we finished it recently. And rather than step into a whole new book, we're going to do something kind of traditional in the Zen practice, which is to take a concept, to take an idea, a koan even, and then take it into a quiet, silent meditation. And so today I felt deeply inspired about the conversations that we've been having for the month of January, all about the mindfulness practices related to the body. And the last practice of that series is something called cemetery contemplations, where we consider how the body decomposes in death and the nature of impermanence. So that's inspired the thought, the teaching that I'm going to share with you today. I will guide you through it all. We'll have a nice long period of silence, and it should be a really easy, gentle practice. Before we begin, let's set the intention for our practice today with a beautiful sentiment of loving kindness. And let's see. Ah, this is a perfect one. It's a little painting I made, and on the back I wrote a sentiment of metta, loving kindness. This one reads, "May you see love everywhere. May you see love everywhere." Let's go ahead and honor the Satipatthana Sutra and the body mindfulness practices that we've been doing for this month by allowing our attention to drop into the body. And let's begin this practice by putting the body in a posture that feels noble. That word, noble. What does it stir in you? And trust that stirring. Maybe your posture that feels noble today is leaning toward a sense of being held and feeling secure, so the body wants to lie down. Maybe noble for you, I don't know, brings forward a bit of a warrior bodhisattva, where you're nice and tall and strong in the spine and soft in the belly, heart open, heart led, full of sada, confidence, trust. Whatever feels noble to you is noble you. What a nice idea. Let's smile about that. Whatever feels noble to you is noble you. I love it. And maybe take a deep breath. And then as your body is settling more into your practice, you can quickly scan the body for any areas that feel twitchy or tight, sour or achy. And maybe with some loving kindness infused in the breath, you can bring your concentration to that part of the body and just breathe to it. One of the body practices is remembering that we are interconnected to all of life. Thich Nhat Hanh was very famous for having said, "We are here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness. We are not separate from the sun. We are not separate and distinct from the rain and the earth. We're unique manifestations of all of it." And so this body, this clay, this ancient clay body is so intimately connected to the mountains, the rivers and streams, the trees and flowers, everything. And the reason why we contemplate this is so that we can disrupt the stories that we have been harboring and repeating a little bit like a broken record, and instead use the nobility of the body posture to remember the majesty, the mystery, and the wonder that is your physical being. The last of the body practices is the contemplation of death, and for me, it is such a motivation to remember the first noble reminder of in Buddhism, which is that you have a precious human life. The first noble truth is that there is suffering and discomfort and dis-ease in life, but there's a noble reminder too. You have a precious human life. And so when I contemplate that this life of mine is impermanent, it lends a kind of urgency, yes, but it also lends purpose and value and meaning and wonder and curiosity about all of my moments, this life. It matters. I matter. I'm part of the heartbeat of this whole existence, and so are you. So there is a spiritual teaching that I really love that kind of connects and speaks to these body practices that I'd like to share with you, and then allow time for silence. For anyone who is new to meditation or who is uncomfortable with silence in meditation, know that you are not alone. There are many, many people who struggle with it. And I would just encourage you to not be too forceful with yourself. Be gentle. Remember that the breath, returning to the breath over and over again, is not only a companion, it is an anchor. So when the mind wanders away, wanders off track, not to worry, just smile, take a breath, bring it back. And if you have to do that 100 times, well, that's your meditation today. Why we're so invested in this story of the perfect breathing and the perfect posture for the perfect meditation, for the perfect is just so boring. Instead, just enjoy where you are in this moment, this practice. Long, long ago, there was a student anxious about death, anxious about life after death based on the stories he had been taught, the stories that he'd heard, the mythologies that were handed down to him. And one day he approached a teacher and talked to her about it. And this is what she said. Tell me plainly, when you die, your body will decompose and go into the earth, correct? And the student said, yes, yes, absolutely. And the teacher said, and according to your mythologies and beliefs, your spirit will go to heaven or to hell, depending upon the way you've lived your life. Is that correct? And he said, yes, yes, that's my understanding. And she said, okay. What I want you to think about is if the body goes into the earth and the spirit goes into heaven or hell, then tell me, where do you go? And that's the question. Where do you go? In any given moment, where are you? friends. One of the most gentle ways we can reframe the story we habitually tell ourselves, which is to over-identify and fixate on our negative habit energy, is to remember that the whole of you is not the sum of your errors, regrets, harms, traumas. The whole of you is a wild constellation, a riot of color, a bounty of possibility. To come into the whole of you in any given moment is a step toward radical transformation. And this is what is going to bring peace and clarity to a world steeped in suffering, confusion, and hardened heart. Let's end our practice together today by taking 3 deep breaths in the body. Bring your attention to the belly and just keep the belly nice and soft as you inhale. Watch it rise and expand. As you exhale, feel the belly contract, emptying all the air. Inhale by softening the belly again, allowing it to gently expand as you fill the lungs. Exhale, contract. Inhale, softly expand. Exhale. Let's go ahead and end our practice today. Let's bring it back to the intention we set today, which is, may you find love everywhere. When I was a young person, my mother used to roll her eyes like butter just was like, she's still going on. My mother was a lot like that too. And she would say, oh, you are just irrepressible. So it was this irrepressible joy that I have is really, it's a wonder, and it's deeply annoying. And that is the magical, mysterious wonder of the whole of me. And I just invite you to find that within yourself too. Find the love everywhere. Be daring in the smallest thing, in the most spectacular thing. Notice how the quail, they don't love it when the dust trucks, the grit trucks come by, because they need the grit to digest their food. So you'll notice quail collecting around the sides of roads to eat grit. It's such a wonder. Little love tokens everywhere. Find them, enjoy them, embody them. May this be part of a reminder that your life is precious, and may you take that into the fullness of your presence, and may your presence bring healing in ways you will never know. You are a blessing in this life, and you always will be. Namaste, friends.